So we're all starting on the opposite side of the straight and we have to run to our kart. The flag drops, away we go. We run to the kart in P12. You have to get on the power as early as possible and you can see that we get a really good getaway, immediately overtaking F3 drivers. Hey guys, what is up? RedExions here and welcome back to this brand new video. And today we are at Kartcentrum Lelystad, which is basically the track where it all started for me back in 2014 for what is already the most crazy event I have ever been at. I won't tell you anything, I'll just show you the footage. Welcome guys to the Kale Kabouter Kart Cup, which is Dutch for Bald Leprechaun Kart Cup. Yes. This is a charity race by Stichting Groothart, an organization that provides unforgettable days for terminally ill children. This race is simply held to raise funds to facilitate the events that Groothart organizes. And as you can see, the theming of this event is absolutely crazy. So the races will be split up in two groups, the VIP drivers and the pro drivers. The VIP drivers are the more wealthy drivers who raise the most funds, but the pro class is full of actual pro drivers. To name a few, Richard Verschoor, Dutch F2 race winner, Jan Lammers and his son, former F1 driver and karting driver respectively, Tom Coronel and his son Rocco, famous Dutch touring car driver, and his son is an FIA Champions of the Future race winner. I could go on and on. We are of course racing in the pro class together with my two teammates, the first of which is my girlfriend Wietske. You know her of course, a properly fast lady and a very clean driver with some impressive results over the years. And last but not least, Wietske's older sister Bijtske. Bijtske is experienced in both karting and cars, securing second place in the W Series in 2019 and 2022. So this might be the most prestigious grid we have ever had, and a mere mortal like me is somehow a part of it. Nice. Anyways, we're jumping straight into qualifying and my stint is first. We have a 15-minute qualifying session in which all three of us have to set a lap. The fastest lap we set as a team will count. From the first moment onwards it was chaos. As you guys know, track position is super important and this qualifying basically turned into a fight for slipstream. We eventually get good track position and set our quick lap time. Let's ride on board for the full lap. It wasn't very quick though, I struggled a lot with getting to grips with the kart. And even though it was a rental kart, it had a very unforgiving character, and even the tiniest mistake would be punished by either a very bouncy or extremely understeery corner. I did not set a good lap time and we qualified in P12. Neither Bijtske or Wietske could improve on my lap time because we all struggled with how this kart handled. So that meant P12 for the race. Alrighty guys, that was qualifying. We each had to do a minimum of 2 laps. I think I did about 6 or 7, Bijtske did about 7 and Wietske did about 5 I think. Anyway, we qualified P12. Yeah, the karts were really difficult to drive for some reason. They're really bouncy, like if you just didn't slide or bounce you would be a few tenths faster. So we're about a second off and yeah, we're about I think 5 tenths to P2 because P1's actually quite far up the grid. Whilst I'm enjoying my free ice cream, I'm going to have a look at how the other group is going to do their Le Mans start, because I've never done this before. I hope I don't fall flat on my face. I think the tactic is to just get to the throttle as early as you can. Come on, Steve! Alright guys, welcome to our POV for this very special Le Mans start. So we're all starting on the opposite side of the straight and we have to run to our kart. The flag drops, away we go. We run to the kart in P12. You have to get on the power as early as possible and you can see that we get a really good getaway, immediately overtaking F3 driver Tim Tramnitz there, and the guy in the golden suit ahead of us is actually Dutch F2 driver Richard Verschoor. We send it up the inside here going into turn 1. We bump the guy ahead of us. We're now behind Ryan Lammers, son of Jan Lammers, Dutch F1 driver. He squeezes us to the left there, but we go around the outside. Here we push the guy on the inside, which sees us now move up to P7. So we actually already made a really good start. We are now up into P7 after only a few corners, which of course is great. But this race is an endurance race, remember that. So it's we still have a long way to go. But as a start, not too bad I think. We cleared some very fast drivers. Here you can see the guy ahead of us. He has a little bit of a gap already forming ahead of him. He has a poor exit coming out of the chicane. We immediately pull alongside, go up into P6 now. So we went from P12 to P6 on the first lap. I think that's okay. But here you can see that he made a little bit of a switchback. We signaled to him to not fight us too much, to move ahead. He still tries to overtake us, so but we very aggressively defended there. And we now find ourselves in P6. So yeah, the start, as usual, not a problem. Now we have to focus on catching up to the guys ahead, and we are slowly catching up to them. Right in front of us is Oliver Hart, and a more well-known Dutch racing and karting driver. And ahead of him is, I think, a Porsche Cup driver, but I don't actually know the name. But you can see that they are actually having a little bit of a ding-dong battle, and they are also losing big time. Here you can see the Porsche Cup driver actually goes wide, squeezes out Oliver, and we can send it up the inside into this slow hairpin, which now sees us moving up to P5. So we are making some real good progress in this race, and we are now all over the driver ahead of us. Here you can see that he gets a little bit of a poor exit. He takes a little bit too much curb, which makes his kart bounce all over the place, which gives us a good exit, and we actually send it up the inside, but we get a little bit too greedy. We overshoot the corner, and we immediately get switchbacked, and we now lost 2 positions and maybe even 3. Here you can see the guy is just turning into us, making our back end step out, but we defended it. We just kept our right foot in there. The best thing you can do in a situation like that is just to keep accelerating, because if you start braking when someone is pushing your back end, you will spin. But luckily we didn't do it here. We are now, so we skip ahead here a little bit. We're now gaining back on Oliver Hart. You can see that the driver ahead pulled away a little bit because he was just a little bit faster than us. But we were definitely gaining on Oliver here, and also our kart that we had in this stint was much faster than the one we had in qualifying. This one had a lot less understeer, and I could actually position it really well going into the corners. So for the race we actually had a decent kart. You can see here that we can take a little bit of a different line compared to Oliver, and just every corner we are slowly gaining on him. Especially through this corner here. He runs wide a little bit, he gets some bouncy exit, and we can just absolutely send it up the inside into the corner where we first overtook him. And now he also tries to switch back. I again signal to him to not fight me too much and move forward, not to lose time, because in these endurance races it really is a matter of getting overtakes done as cleanly as possible, losing the least amount of time, trying to catch the driver ahead of us. But he was just a little bit too fast for us, so I think we would have to settle for this P5 that we are in now. And you can see that there's actually a big train of cars behind us. So now it was time to get our head down and focus on this race. And actually, this track, guys, this is where I started out. When we switched to owner karting, this is the place where we usually did our races. Also, my first ever races were around this track, and it was actually the winter championship of this track in 2014. And I think a reason why I am more comfortable in the wet is the fact that in this championship you had to run a Rotax on slick tires, and in those very important moments I learned how to race in the wet. But anyways, I digress. We need to focus on catching the guy ahead, but like I said, he was a little bit too fast for us. These car drivers really don't mess around, man. And this is basically where we stayed for the rest of the stint. So the rest of the stint just focused on getting through lap traffic as fast as possible, because of course pit stops started happening, which means that you will start encountering drivers who are on a different strategy, who you are not racing, who are a lap down, and that's the case with the driver ahead of us here. Here you can see that his kart was actually sparking. You can see some sparks flying off his kart there, but he was a blue flag kart, and I wanted to get past him as fast as possible. But for some reason he wanted to defend. He defends here very aggressively, but we send it up the inside and we absolutely take him out. That's of course not the most racing etiquette friendly thing to do, but he had to move out of the way. We couldn't afford to lose time, and we pretty much smashed him out of the way there. But yeah, that was the rest of our stint. We come in for our pit stop here for our first driver change. We moved from P12 up to P5, so we gained 7 places in this stint, and I think we did a very good first stint. Alright guys, that's my stint done. I think we went really well. A bit of a shame that we cooked up that one overtake. I think we would have lost a bit less time if we managed to get past him without getting re-overtaken.
So right now Bijtske is doing her stint. We are Team Visser in P5 right now. She's struggling to find the pace right now, but she'll probably find that later on.
She's the endurance driver of the three of us anyway, so I hope she can find some more time and be consistent as well. Anyways, I'll quit yapping. Let's go to Bijtke's onboards. So this is Bijtke's POV. We send her onto the track here. She actually joins the track in no man's land in P5. So somehow during the pit stops we did not lose any positions, which is great of course in endurance racing. That means that we basically got a pit stop for free and that our competitors around us did the pit stop in about the same time. So we switch ahead here a little bit and there you can see Team Coronel coming out of us. That's Rocco with the bright orange helmet. We were able to overtake them, so we are now in P4. And actually we managed to stay ahead of Rocco and Team Coronel during our stint, which is really great of course. Here Bijtske is coming on to some more lap traffic, and as you can see this guy is wearing some sort of LED necklace. There was actually also a prize for who wore the best costume in these races. There you can, by that you can just tell that it's not very serious, just a charity event. Here Bijtske actually also took out a guy in the same corner I took out a guy, but this one was just a lot less violent. Let me know in the comments guys, which pit maneuver was better, mine or Bijtke's. Anyways, we continue our push here. She got past the slower kart without really losing that much time. We are still in P4. And here you can see actually a ding-dong battle going on between Bijtske and the guy ahead with the Lando Norris kart suit. And this actually was for position. You can see that he's also a little bit quicker compared to the slower drivers. And also she goes up the inside here, now moving up into P3. And what I was actually saying was, what's really funny is the difference in driving style between the two of us. Here you can see that Bijtske is a lot more aggressive at the wheel. Maybe it is because this kart was also a little bit more understeery. I tend to drive the kart a little bit more intensely, sliding it on 4-wheel club. With this kart it didn't seem to be possible because it was just too understeery. Anyways, Bijtske actually managed to stay in P3 to the end of her stint. So she's now coming into the pits to do another driver swap, and now of course it's the turn of my girlfriend Wietske. So again, like last time, we take off the racing number board with the transponder on it, which keeps track of your position. She takes out her weight. Of course she had to take a little bit more weight than me because I'm a fat bitch. And now it was Wietske's turn to shine. And now it's time for Wietske's stint, and she's actually quite quick, but we lost a few positions in the pit stops.
So it's P4 for us now, but the guys behind her are all faster. So it's going to be tight. Let's see how it ends. Let's go to Wietske's onboards.
Alright, so Wietske's turn. During our pit stop we actually lost 2 positions this time. We're now down into P6. But this guy ahead of us is actually fighting for position. So we join right on the back of P5. And I have to say, after about half an hour of racing, this field is actually super close. Here Wietske sends it up the inside immediately. Nice and aggressive move from my girlfriend. Going up the inside on basically one of the first opportunities she got, which is something she really improved on last year. Just a little bit more aggression in the racing. Which is of course what you want when you're a racing driver. So we now find ourselves in P5, which is I think a solid position, and the guy ahead of us is actually also for position. So we have to catch up to him in order to overtake him, and here we skip ahead a little bit further towards the end of the race. Here we actually get overtaken by another driver. I don't actually know who that is. Doesn't really matter though, we lost the position, which is of course not what you want, but I believe they still had to make a pit stop. So that's going to be very interesting when we switch ahead or when we go ahead in this race, because we are still going to gain 1 position. You can see that he's a little bit faster than us. So yeah, no point in really fighting that too much, because that would have just cost us time. So it was really smart of Wietske not to fight him too much and to just focus on our stint. Here we skip ahead a little bit. We actually gained 2 positions because of pit stop, so we now find ourselves in P4. But there was actually talks of the guy in P1 getting a disqualification, so maybe that would have been P3. As we now switch ahead to the final few laps of this race, and you can't actually see it, but we could see it from the sidelines. Team Coronel was right on our bumper. He was a little bit faster than Wietske. And again, just look at the differences in the driving style. Wietske has a much more clean driving style, which is of course what you have seen in my other videos as well. I have a lot more of an attacking driving style. I like to attack the corners a lot more, and Wietske is very neat, which gives her really good exits. And here you can see in the top left hand corner how close Team Coronel was. And actually Wietske gets a little bit of a poor run out the chicane, and Team Coronel goes for the inside here. It's actually the dead Tom Coronel going up the inside here. He gives Wietske a little bit of a nudge, which pushes her wide. But maybe we can get this P4 back. We now go onto the last lap of this race, and we are staying with Team Coronel here with of course the yellow cheese helmet. You know him if you're Dutch or if you've watched Dakar, or if you're a little bit more of a hardcore racing fan. You can see he makes a little bit of a mistake. He looks behind him, tries to defend. No, he doesn't, because the gap's large enough. Here he runs wide a little bit, but Wietske also runs wide. So maybe we can sneak it up the inside here somewhere. He takes a lot of curb in this middle hairpin, which is actually what you want to do if you want to take the fastest race line. Here again, he takes a lot of curb. It appeared to be fast to take curb, but it was of no use. Coronel was just a little bit too fast for us. We finished in P5, which is a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, we just didn't quite have the pace to keep P4 behind us there. Also, P1 did not get a disqualification, so P5 it is in the end. Damn it, guys. Just didn't manage to hold that. Yeah, she gave everything, but yeah, Thomas is a little bit too fast for us. In the end, he did take us, which is, yeah, shame. But hey, she tried her best. So guys, that was it for this video. We had an absolute blast. This race is super fun, and of course, the money that we gathered in this is going to charity. It was also super cool racing some prestigious drivers in this race. Also, that Le Mans style start was absolutely epic. So in the end, we did actually win a prize, because we as a team set the fastest lap in the lady category. The organization didn't really do their homework though, because it was actually me who set the fastest lap and not one of the ladies. But anyways, I'm not complaining, we still won that prize. But with that little goof up by the organization out of the way, also comes the end to this video. Now if you enjoyed that, then please consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons, you really help me when you do that. Also, if you want to support my karting journey financially, consider becoming a member. You can get some awesome perks like early access to videos and exclusive content, so definitely check out my packages and maybe there's something in there for you. In my last video we were racing in my own kart and I actually got my first podium of the season. It's a great video with some great advice for you as a beginner, so definitely check it out, it's on screen right now. This video however is done, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.